I'm slow, right?
Mentally.
Oh my God, mentally, okay. I'm talking about I'm slow in the boxing ring, right?
Mentally.
I'm talking about the boxing ring, what you was talking about. I'm slow, right?
Mentally.
Okay, you're gonna see. I promise you're gonna see.
Teo, to Shakur's point, you seem to be the guy that rises to the level of your competition. When you were going against Loma, people felt you were the underdog. Josh Taylor, the same thing. And those are the fights where you really showcased your skills and abilities and upset the odds. Is this another fight where you're coming in there with that mentality to upset the odds?
Just put him in front of me and I'll beat him. Not about the odds. It's about, I guess defining them. You define the odds. Everybody's against you, great. That's when you know you're doing great. I put a thing out there. It's like, if you want to be liked in this sport, be a good boxer. You want to be loved in the sport, be the best boxer. But if you want to be hated in this sport, including the odds, be the greatest boxer.
First glance, the sit-down interview looked calm, but don't be deceived. The tension was practically flexing under the table. You could feel it the second they began revisiting the past, amateur days, promotions, who got the push first, who felt sidelined. That's when the heat really kicked in.
Yeah, I'm thinking, I don't know if it's 2011 or 2012 National Junior Olympics or Junior National Golden Gloves. And I remember seeing him. He was wearing a white tank top. I think it was red and white trunks. And he was just whooping on dude bad. And that's when I noticed we were both cleaning up our divisions leading up to the finals. He ended up winning. I ended up, coming in second.
Did you first become aware of Teo?
It's so crazy. So like when I first kind of got aware of Teo, it was probably before he even knew me. But I used to get on YouTube and I used to watch like the DMV fight, and I seen one of his fights up there and I kind of watched them. I thought he was a good fighter, and that's when I kind of got a first whiff of Teo. But when I finally first met him, probably was the same time he talking about.
Shakur casually admits he felt a touch of jealousy. Teofimo fires back with, "I just didn't care." Suddenly, the discussion shifts. It's no longer about boxing history, but about old ego scars that never really healed.
Good with Teo. I thought Teo was a little jealous of me. That's what I thought.
Yeah, he was getting the fights that you were calling for Loma. He got Loma.
Yeah.
Did you see him as a future foe?
I think that everything just plays out the way it does, and eventually we was gonna end up meeting up with each other eventually. I had never seen any jealousy in my part with him. I mean, for crying out loud, he fought for Team USA, got a silver medal. And,
not during them times though,
and
bro.
The whole thing
not
was
during them times.
pushed.
I'm speaking on the times where I felt like you had a push start. You got the you used to be ahead of me far as like ESPN only like black fighters and all that kind of stuff. And when you said that, I kind of felt like it was a shot at me. So I felt like it was a little bit of jealousy.
No, I just didn't give an F. That's all. Cool. Just didn't give an F.
Then Teofimo begins talking about making Shakur quit or knocking him out, and you can feel the tension tighten across the room. Shakur's response is cold, controlled, no volume, just deadly calm. Essentially, he's saying, "You really think I'm slow?" That's the kind of line that can come back to haunt someone once fight night actually hits.
When you hear a guy say he might not just stop you, but he might make you quit in the fight.
Make me quit is crazy. Like, I don't got no quit in me, but it's cool. He's supposed to feel that way. Like, he's supposed to say the things that he's saying. He's not saying nothing out of the ordinary or something that I didn't expect. Only thing that I kind of took away, he got on a podcast, I want to say he said that I was slow. And that's the part where I'm like, okay, he's going to be very surprised come fight night to where it's like, you really thought I was slow? Like, is that something like you put in your brain and thought it was about to come out there and work?
Teofimo comes off like a man protecting his territory, like this is his space and someone's touching what's his. Shakur, by contrast, sounds like someone who's been waiting years for this chance and doesn't care whose house it happens to be. And if the tension was this intense just across a podcast table, imagine 12 rounds in the ring, when the words stop and every move counts.
No,
What are
I
we
know what
talking
I'm
about?
gonna do. I know what I'm
So
gonna do.
you gonna erase my name?
I know what I'm going to do.
This 140.
Basically, what I'm trying to let you know is that boxing ain't gonna allow it.
But how boxing not gonna allow it?
It won't.
How?
Cause now you facing me.
Oh shit! I'm so scared. Tio, I'm frightened. I'm scared for my life. I'm facing you. Ooh. That shit don't move me, bro. I can't wait to see you. I've been waiting on this. Yo, I don't know how you don't understand. I've been waiting on this moment forever. Like, it's been years and years for this moment right here. You gave me the opportunity. I appreciate you for that. But come with it. Facts.
And while all that tension is building on camera, here's the part Teofimo should really be watching. Shakur isn't talking. He's moving. He's in Colorado Springs at D1, training at high altitude, stacking rounds where fatigue isn't optional and mistakes are punished immediately. That's Crawford-level intensity. You don't go there for vibes. You go there to sharpen your edge.
It's all fun and games, man. We just in here having fun, joking around and letting them get some experience. You know, when you boxing, you gotta box in front of a lot of different people. So being that they in front of a lot of people right now, we kind of gassing it up, making it feel like it's an atmosphere of a fight. So I enjoy.
This isn't about flashy Instagram shots or chasing attention. It's quiet, disciplined high-altitude training where timing becomes sharper and endurance becomes unyielding. When a fighter like Shakur sets up camp here, it clearly shows the kind of fight he's building for ***, not chaos, not ego, not crowd energy, but precision, stamina, and mastery deep into the championship rounds. ***.
Yeah.
They got it.
Let me see that.
Good. That's good.
I feel great. You know, sprints kind of be getting me right. You know, get my conditioning right. You know, sometimes in a fight could turn into a sprint, cause it's like start the pace fast as hell, and then they can't keep up the pace. But the sprints will kind of get you in shape to where once you break down, sometimes you get a second win, then you get another win, then you get another win after that. So I did the sprints a lot in a Jamel Herring fight. That's why you seen me fight at a fast pace. And then once I slowed down, I picked it back up and I had all the energy in the world to do it. So we locked in.
That altitude work isn't just about endurance. It's about making sure that when Teofimo is still firing on all cylinders, Shakur's focus remains razor sharp. It's the process of converting patience into a weapon and conditioning into unshakable confidence. While Teofimo talks about dominance and controlling the ring, Shakur is quietly accumulating invisible edges, constructing an engine that never shows up in interviews but dominates when the rounds grow tough. And that's the truly intimidating part, because once the talking stops, altitude doesn't care about hype or bravado.
So far, it came going great. We about a month away from fight day. Everything going according to plan. Core look great, man, great. He getting the rounds in. Everything going according to schedule.
We coming.
We coming for the victory. You know, me as a trainer, I don't train to go the distance. I think that's wear and tear on the body. You put all the work in camp to make the fight night as easy as possible, and that's what
Right after detailing Shakur's grind in Colorado Springs, breathing that thin, high-altitude air and fine-tuning every move at D1 like he's prepping for a 12-round chess match, the focus naturally swings back to New York, the arena where all this tension is about to collide. Listening to Pauli and Chris on Boxing Scene, it's clear this is the grown-up table. No hype, no echo chamber. Just fighters who felt firsthand what Madison Square Garden does to your legs and your nerves. And they are spot on. The Garden isn't just a stage, it's a stress test. For Shakur, it validates all that preparation. For Teofimo, it's pure fuel ready to ignite.
Teofimo is at his most dangerous when he's counted out. And this is going to be one of those fights where he's going to be counted out. Because Shakur is looked at by and large as the guy who can dominate boxing in this generation, right? If it's just a matter of him getting the opportunity. I myself have felt that he's the guy who could and should be dominating boxing if he gets the right matchups. But bro, this is one of the rare matchups, if not maybe the only matchup, where I feel like is a big threat here.
You can almost hear it in the way he's described. The more Teofimo is doubted, the sharper and more dangerous he becomes, like his confidence feeds directly on skepticism. We've seen this before. When he's relaxed and expected to win, he can drift. But when his back is against the wall and the crowd is split, that's when he locks in and pulls off feats that make you question reality. Shakur, in contrast, thrives in the opposite environment. He doesn't need chaos to excel. Clarity is his fuel. He's the one who shows up early, works quietly, and still aces the test while everyone else is scrambling at the last minute. That stark difference is exactly why this fight feels so compelling. When Pauli calls this one of Shakur's few true threats, it isn't disrespect, it's just the truth.
Undone only because of this reason. Teofimo Lopez, we've seen him at his best, but he typically brings out his best characteristics when he's back against the wall and he's counted out. And he's going to be counted out in this fight. By and large, people are going to side with Shakur in this fight to win the fight because he's the more consistent fighter, he's the more class fighter overall, and he's just so good. But Teofimo has a way, when you're so good and he knows you're so good and everybody feels like you're gonna...
Shakur might be the cleaner, more precise fighter, but Teofimo is the unpredictable element, able to rise in ways that throw off timing, strategy, and even the betting lines. I love how they framed New York itself as part of the fight, because it truly is. This isn't Vegas, where everything feels staged and polished. This is MSG, where the crowd's energy lands like pressure, and every cheer or jeer hits like a personal challenge. Teofimo thrives on that chaos, turning it into fuel, while Shakur tunes it out completely, like static in the background. Two completely different approaches, the same ring, and the discussion about odds just adds another layer to the story.
He was not good. He did not. It was not a good night.
Oh, like a street fight.
Yeah, it was shots. And I think I was a guest on that on the call for that show. And I said I got one guy fighting with ego and I got one guy fighting with discipline. And that's what it was, because he just went out there and was just trying to knock him out from round one, and it was not working out well. Now, is he going to do that against Shakur? Absolutely not. But also, we've seen him struggle with guys like Jermaine Ortiz. We've seen him struggle with who was the Canadian guy who I mean, not that he struggled, but he failed to really impress.
Sander Martin. On paper, Shakur looks like the clear favorite, cleaner, smarter, more controlled. But boxing rarely plays out on paper. It unfolds in fleeting moments. And Teofimo thrives in those moments. That's the real threat. That's what makes this matchup feel essential. It's not just about titles or rankings. It's about whether discipline can overcome volatility, or if volatility can shatter discipline. When seasoned fighters say, "I wouldn't bet on this one," it's not hesitation. It's respect for just how unpredictable greatness can be. This isn't a safe or scripted fight. It's a genuine test. And that's exactly why we're all glued to it.
Josh Taylor, a weight class below, and years out, said, I can beat that guy. He called out Jaron Ennis. I mean, obviously he didn't fight Jaron, but when him and his father put their heads together and they see something in a guy and they end up taking a fight like this, that's dangerous where he's the underdog. Wow.
After Pauli and Chris framed the danger versus discipline debate from the viewpoint of fighters who've actually endured those moments under the lights, the energy shifts when Buddy Muckgert steps in. The room settles into a different kind of seriousness. Listening to him, it's obvious this isn't hype, it's conviction. No dramatics, no opinions built for clicks, just someone who's witnessed generations of talent calmly stating that Shakur stands apart. What really stands out is how plainly he puts it. He isn't concerned with raw athleticism, crowd reactions, or ticket numbers. Everything comes back to one idea: control. His message is blunt: you can't rush Shakur. You can't overpower him. And you can't throw caution aside and hope for a miracle. If you're Teofimo, swagger and sudden bursts won't be enough. You have to outthink someone who lives in constant chess mode, and that's a ruthless assignment. The way Buddy described Shakur, it feels like he's already well into the film while everyone else is still watching the opening trailer.
I mean, to me, they have two different styles. You know what I mean? And, Shakur just has a style that, to appreciate it, you got to be a real boxing person.
Yeah, because, when I say athleticism, it's like explosiveness and twitch, but isn't Shakur with the timing and the distance, it's more subtle.
Relaxed, you know what I mean? He can do whatever, he can take control at any time when he wants to.
Is it like more efficient? Like Teo will cross arm and use all these replays, then Shakur will just take a little half step back.
That's it.
Is that more
efficient?
It's all
about control. It's all about control.
How competitive a fight you think it's going to be?
It's going to be a very good fight. I mean, it's a fight, and it's in the right place, New York. I've always said, I said years ago in
is refined, but not in a way that jumps off the screen. Refined in the sense that everything you try gets shut down, and you're left wondering why nothing is landing. That's the unsettling part. And when a trainer who has watched top-tier fighters come and go says he places him above the rest, that's not bias or a soundbite. It's a quiet acknowledgement that real levels exist in boxing. What really stands out is how Buddy lays out the road to an upset without softening the message. He's basically saying that if you think Teofimo can just rush in and turn this into a brawl, you're already missing the point. That's a reality many fans don't like to hear. This matchup isn't about toughness or highlight reel moments. It's about concentration, patience, and being mentally locked in at Shakur's level for 12 straight rounds. And that kind of focus is draining. And Buddy isn't minimizing Teofimo at all. In fact, he respects him enough to be honest. To beat Shakur, you don't just need strength or explosiveness. You have to be smarter in the ring than you've ever been before.
Definitely.
Why is that?
He's the best at that weight. No one's going to beat him at that weight. He can go up to 47 and win a title. That's how good he is.
I mean,
it's going to be a good fight. I'm glad it's finally happening. A good fight in boxing where you got two very skilled fighters. And look, I love Teofimo. I picked him to beat Lomachenko. You know what I mean? But I just think that Shakur's on.
And how many fighters can actually maintain that level of control once the pressure tightens? That's exactly why his assessment carries so much significance. He's not predicting a runaway fight or an easy night. He's explaining that Shakur wins by owning the tempo from start to finish. A small step back, a clean reset, confidence slowly chipped away, rhythm disrupted, round after round quietly taken. So when Buddy says Shakur stands out more than anyone else, even compared to the biggest names, that isn't a slight toward others. It's perspective earned through experience. This isn't a loud or dramatic pick. It's a calm caution. When you step across the ring from Shakur Stevenson, you're not just facing another fighter. You're facing someone who's already mapped your decision before you make it.
I remember Shakur as a kid when he was an amateur. And I used to always tell him, kids, he's just special, man. He's special.
What's Teo, if he can pull up, like if you were his trainer, what would be the game plan you think to try to pull off what would be an upset?
You gotta be double smart. You can't go in there and think you're gonna bully him. You can't think you're going to go in there and bomb him out. You got to be.
When all the pieces are lined up, the meaning becomes impossible to miss. This matchup isn't defined by who made more noise at a press conference or who sounded tougher on a microphone. It boils down to preparation versus unpredictability, control versus chaos, calculated conditioning versus emotional fuel. On one side, Shakur Stevenson operates quietly, fine-tuning his timing, stamina, and decision-making as if every round has already been planned out. On the other, Teofimo Lopez flourishes in uncertainty, feeding off pressure and carrying the ability to overturn expectations in a split second when no one sees it coming. Every viewpoint we've heard, whether from fighters, trainers, or analysts, keeps circling back to the same fundamental truth, just from different perspectives. This isn't a showcase fight or gimmick. It's a real danger for both men. One poor decision, one emotional slip, one bad read, and the entire narrative can change instantly. That's what sets this matchup apart. There's no safety net, no easy storyline, just two elite fighters testing which mindset holds up when the ring feels smaller and the
score's on point, man. You got to be just as on point as he is. And that takes a different level of concentration.
Unanimous decision then for Shakur?
I don't know, man. I don't know, but I see him winning. I see Shakur winning, definitely.
Who do you see impresses you just a little bit more? I know they're both excellent. Haney
Shakur.
Or Shakur,
Shakur.
Now it's over to you. When everything is on the line, who do you trust more? Shakur's calm, methodical command, or Teofimo's knack for exploding in the biggest moments? Sound off in the comments and let's have a real discussion about it. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Boxing Headquarters, and we'll see you in the next video.